Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is a tag response video that I should have made a long while ago, and that is a challenge set by Petra Goes Outdoors, and that lady has tagged me into, I believe it was called the teacup challenge. So basically what I've got to do is, these are the rules of the tag. I've got to choose one piece of woodage. In this case I'm going to be using a piece of cedar pine, one cutting tool, one source of ignition to set your fire going, and what we've got to do is from scratch process our wood to include tinder, kindling and fuel, and boil enough water to make a cup of tea within 15 minutes. Now, whilst that sounds easy and like a big period of time, when you're doing it from scratch, it actually isn't. So I'm going to get set up, put my little collapsible stove up. That's what I'm going to use to get my fire established in, and let's see how we go. May fail at this, who knows, but we'll give it a shot. My good mate Grasshopper Outdoors, he's done this. He actually beat me to it. I was going to use an axe myself as my one tool, but because he's already gone ahead and done that, I'm going to attempt to use this, the Kershaw Camp 12. I do recommend this machete for an all-round camping, bushcraft type of utilitarian bushwhacking tool. So we'll give it a go with that and see what happens. No doubt I'll fail at this one miserably, but we'll give it a go. So I'll pan down here and let's get started. Yeah. Alrighty, welcome back. So I've got the stove set up down here, cup of water in the little stainless mug there, my teacup and tea bag ready to go if I get that far. My source of ignition is going to be a Mad Dog Monster and the ceramic striker. My one tool option, the Kershaw Camp machete. I'll leave that one sheathed for now. I've got a pair of gloves obviously for the hot pan, and I believe as part of this ruling I am allowed another piece of wood to use as a batten should I need to, and I'm going to keep that in mind because I may get stuck. I don't know yet, so can't edit any more from here. So I believe as soon as I make the first cut, then you're going to have to start timing me and see what happens. So I'm just going to crack on and see how we go. So wish me luck. So I guess the time starts around now. It's surprising when you're against the clock how much more fiddly everything feels or becomes. I'm old school and I'm used to doing everything slowly and methodically, and it just adds that little bit more pressure, this does, which is quite nice occasionally, you know. It's always good, character building as they say. But at the moment I'm just getting my small kindling, as you can see, together, and then I'm going to move on to processing my tinder, hopefully. I've not used, as you can see, this machete to process fine firewood before. I only use this normally as a rough chopper. So as you can see, I'm just finding my way around with it because it feels different to what I'm used to. So anyway, right now what I'm going to do is, if I can, is start removing some of the outer bark off this pine, because that is nice and fibrous. And I'm hoping, even though it's quite damp, I'm hoping this should suffice to be my tinder sauce. I'm just trying to keep all this off the wet mud as best as I can. And whilst I haven't got a lot of it, I'm trying to make the best of a bad job. Okay. It's typical, you know, normally this stuff just falls off and makes a right ruddy mess everywhere. The first time you want it to fall off, it's reluctant to leave the parent wood, the main wood. But we'll persevere. I'm just going to fold that up, put it under my knee. I want to keep that as dry as I can. Okay. Wasn't the best. Like I say, I was going to use an axe for this little challenge, but Grasshopper Outdoors, my good mate Chris over there, he's beaten me to it. So right on cue, I just felt a few spots of rain on my early warning system. So, well, if it ain't, what does Corporal's Corner say? If it ain't raining, you ain't training. Quite a good analogy. See if we can't get some more of this bark off here. It's not looking good for me. Okay, let's see if we can't do something with this bark right now. Okay. get that as fibrous as I can. So I don't know how well this will go because I'm not really taking enough time to prepare my tinder, so and it's quite windy, but we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Okay. I'm getting all this in camera shot. As you can see, it's damp, everything's absolutely smoky and wet. But we are going, that's the main thing. So whilst it isn't ready, I'm going to get the mug on pre-warming through, because time is of the essence. Put this back in its sheath. Whilst my practices haven't been the safest and not the most recommended during doing this, always recommend putting your knife or your tool back in the scabbard or sheath when you've finished using it. Well, we seem to be cooking with gas, or at least wood anyway. I don't know how far into this video we are, but I would imagine I haven't got much time. See if we can't encourage this a little bit. Now, like I say, this tag challenge comes from Petra Outdoors. I believe she's a German lady. She sort of does bushcraft and outdoors related things, and she practices her English along the way whilst making videos, and she always comments, you know, I hope my English is understandable. Well, Petra, your English is a damn sight better than my German, that's for sure. In fact, your English is a lot better than my English. And my firelighting, as it would seem. I don't think I'm generating enough heat, to be honest. The fire's not established enough. Oops. It is getting hot, but I'm not getting the fire established well enough. I know I'm going to be over the time limit, but we'll take action. We'll try and keep it going, even if I fail on the time. At least I've tried. Like I say, for me personally, I normally take more time in doing the preparation of my tinder, etc. So this is not my normal style of doing things. But we'll persevere. that's what we do. It is throwing some heat out, but I don't think it will be enough, not in the time that's allocated. But you never know. You never know, you're looking at a draw. Seems to have got hold a lot better now. What we're on now, about 12 minutes. I haven't got long left. Practice what you preach, Andy. I can hear some hissing coming from the cook canteen, so that sounds hopeful. I think the lid, that will be a deciding factor as well in this. If any of you guys and lasses do want to have a go at this challenge, the lid, you know, without it, you will struggle, in my opinion. So what we're on now, 13 minutes coming up to. Let's have a look. We're just starting to boil. We're just coming to a boil. Yeah, 30 seconds more. We should have it in the bag. Yep. I've got a couple of minutes, I believe, in hand. I'm just looking at the timer on the camera there. Okay. I should think that's hot enough to mash with. Let's see. I'd say that's hot enough to mash with. I'm calling it at that. So I hope I'm in the 15 minutes. Yeah, that's hot enough to mash with. So there's my tea bag steeping in the Mad Dog mug. I'd say that's challenge done. I'm not sure how accurate my time is, but I think I'm inside the 15 minutes. So I'm going to tag 2 victims. I'm going to tag my good mate over the pond, Reaper Militia Outdoors. If you're watching, brother, and you fancy a go at this, have a go. And I'm going to tag my good mate Petra on this side of the pond. If you're watching, brother, and you've got time, I know you're a busy man, feel free to chuck in and have a go. Crikey me, it's actually starting to, the flames licking up my old log there, but it is wet. So anyway, yeah, they're my 2 victims, Reaper Militia and Petra. Feel free to chuck in, and that's the teacup challenge. And just to recap, you need to use 1 piece of wood, 1 tool, whether it's an axe, a machete, a knife, whatever you choose, a saw, 1 form of ignition. You can use a baton should you need it, a pair of gloves, obviously, keep it relatively safe. And from start to finish, process your wood, establish your fire, get a brew on, all inside 15 minutes. So I'm going to put a link in the description box below to Petra Goes Outdoors, her channel. Please go check her out, guys and lasses. She's a good lady, and she does a good job. I mean, she's properly kicked my ass on this. To be honest, made a lot better job of it than I did. Like I say, I'm old and I like to do things more slowly and take my time and enjoy the process of, I enjoy the journey, not the destination, if that makes sense. That's me. But I think we've got it done anyway, albeit not in spectacular fashion. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Have a great weekend out there, what's left of it. If any of you guys and lasses want to have a go at this as well, you know, not just my 2 victims, chosen victims. Chuck in and have a go, feel free. It's a bit of fun. And oh, that's hot. And until next time, take care. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah.